Did you know that the biggest wealth gap between retirees isn't created in their 20s or 30s, but rather during a tiny 10-year window that opens the day they turn 45? Two people can blow out the candles on their 45th birthday with the exact same salary, the exact same bank balance, and similar family situations, yet end up with completely different lives at 65. The harsh truth is that seemingly harmless, everyday decisions made at 45 are quietly deciding whether it will cross the finish line into a wealthy retirement or find yourself constantly counting pennies in your golden years. Welcome to the most critical crossroads of your financial life. When you hit 45, you aren't a rookie trying to find your footing in the workplace anymore, but you aren't exactly winding down either. Financial experts often call this the beginning of your peak earning years. The kids might be getting a little older, your career has stabilized, and a dangerous sense of breathing room starts to appear in your bank account. But it is precisely this false sense of security that causes the vast majority of people to stumble. Those who will retire rich don't have a magic wand, they just behave fundamentally differently during this crucial decade. Today, we are going to peel back the layers and look at the core differences in mindset and action between these two groups. Consider this a conversation over your morning coffee, a chance to reevaluate your financial roadmap before the ink dries. 1. The illusion of peak income and the lifestyle creep trap. Let's start with the very first thing that creates a massive divide between the future rich and everyone else: how they handle an increase in income. When an average 45-year-old gets a major promotion or a significant raise, their natural reflex is to upgrade their life. Let's imagine a fictional guy, we'll call him Mike. Mike gets a 20% bump in pay at 45. Instantly, he trades in his reliable sedan for a luxury SUV. He takes out a home equity loan to completely gut and remodel the kitchen. And those weekend road trips suddenly turn into expensive resort vacations. This is what we call lifestyle creep. His income went up, but his expenses rose at the exact same speed, running on a parallel track. The result? His financial surplus, the actual money he has left to build wealth, remains completely stagnant. The people who are destined for a wealthy retirement play a completely different game. They practice something I like to call the lifestyle freeze. When their income goes up, they don't automatically upgrade their standard of living. Instead, they lock in their expenses at the level they were at when they were 40, and they funnel 100% of that new, extra income directly into investments and retirement accounts. They understand a fundamental truth of wealth building. You do not get rich based on the size of your paycheck. You only get rich based on the amount of money you keep and put to work. Think back over the last 5 years of your own life. Has your income gone up, but somehow, mysteriously, there's no extra money left in your checking account at the end of the month? Drop a 1 down in the comments if you've ever caught yourself asking, "Where did all my money go?" Trust me, you are absolutely not alone in this. 2. The college debt trap versus the oxygen mask rule. Right around 45 is also the time when your kids might be entering high school, and the looming shadow of college tuition becomes very real. This is where emotion completely clouds logic. Out of boundless love and a heavy dose of parental guilt, so many people in their mid-40s make a financially devastating choice. They stop contributing to their retirement funds, they cash out old 401(n)s, or they take on massive Parent Plus loans just to cover 100% of their child's dream university. The folks who will retire rich make a choice that sounds tough in the moment, but is incredibly wise in the long run. They apply the airplane oxygen mask rule. You have to secure your own mask before assisting others. They realize that their children have a multitude of ways to pay for an education, scholarships, student loans, part-time jobs, or starting at a more affordable community college for the first 2 years. But absolutely no one is going to offer you a scholarship for your retirement. No bank will give you a loan to pay for your groceries when you are 75. When you are 45, every dollar you keep in your retirement account still has 20 full years to multiply through compound interest. If you sacrifice that money today, you aren't just losing the principal. You are permanently surrendering its massive growth potential. And ironically, if you drain your own financial security now for your kids, 30 years down the road, those very same kids will likely have to shoulder the financial burden of caring for you when you run out of money. Pause this video for just 5 seconds and ask yourself this tough question. Would you rather your kids start their adult life with a manageable student loan that they have 40 working years to pay off, or would you want them to bear the crushing weight of your living expenses when you are 80 years old? Sometimes, saying no to full tuition is the greatest financial gift you can ever give your children. 3. The tax bomb and the multi-bucket strategy. Let's move on to taxes. Most people at age 45 have a very lazy approach to saving. They just blindly throw a percentage of their paycheck into their company's traditional 401(n) and think their job is done. Yes, you get a tax break today, which feels great. But what very few people realize is that they are actively building a massive tax bomb, just waiting to detonate the moment they step into retirement. Every single dollar you pull out of a traditional 401(n) later in life will be taxed as ordinary income. And if tax rates go up in the future, which many economists believe they will, you are going to be in for a nasty shock. The group heading for a wealthy future looks at taxes through a long-term lens. At 45, they aggressively build what we call a multi-bucket strategy. They don't just hold pre-tax money. They start pouring funds into a Roth IRA or a Roth 401(n), where the money grows completely tax-free and, more importantly, is withdrawn tax-free. They also build up standard brokerage accounts to give themselves maximum flexibility if they want to retire before age 59 and a half, without getting hit with early withdrawal penalties. By diversifying their tax structure now, they give themselves the power to control their own tax bracket in retirement, rather than letting the IRS dictate their lifestyle. Now, it is important to pause here and mention that I am sharing these concepts for general educational purposes. I'm just a guy on the internet talking about money. Tax laws change, and everyone's financial blueprint is entirely unique. You should always consult with a licensed CPA or a fiduciary financial advisor before making major changes to your tax strategy. 4. Weaponizing the health savings account, HSA. Speaking of taxes, we cannot ignore a massive financial tool that the average 45-year-old completely misunderstands: the health savings account, or HSA. The majority of people treat their HSA like a short-term digital wallet. They put money in, get the tax deduction, and then immediately swipe their HSA debit card to pay a $50 urgent care copay or to buy a new pair of reading glasses. Money goes in, money goes right back out. Those who are on the fast track to wealth treat the HSA as the single most powerful secret weapon in their portfolio. They view it as a stealth retirement account. Why? Because the HSA is the only investment vehicle that offers a triple tax advantage. The money you put in is tax deductible, the money grows tax-free, and if you use it for qualified medical expenses, the withdrawals are completely tax-free. Instead of draining the account for minor medical bills today, they pay those small out-of-pocket costs with regular cash. They invest the funds inside the HSA into index funds and let it compound relentlessly for the next 20 years. They know a terrifying statistic. Healthcare is typically the largest single expense for American retirees. A healthy 65-year-old couple retiring today could need hundreds of thousands of dollars just to cover medical costs in their later years. By weaponizing the HSA at age 45, they are building a massive, tax-free fortress to protect their wealth when they are older. 5. The "I'll catch up later" fallacy. A lot of 45-year-olds log into their retirement accounts, see a number that feels way too small, and shrug it off. They tell themselves, "Hey, I still have 20 years left. Right now I need to focus on the mortgage and the kids' braces. When I hit 55 and the house is paid off, I'll just double my savings and catch up." This delay is an absolute death sentence for compound interest. Let's do a quick mental math exercise using the rule of 72. Historically, if your investments grow at an average rate of around 7.2%, your money will double every 10 years. At 45, the money you invest still has 2 full doubling cycles before you reach 65. $10,000 becomes $20,000 at 55 and $40,000 at 65. But if you wait until you are 55 to start investing that same $10,000, it only has time to double once. By waiting just 10 years, you have mathematically destroyed half of your wealth-building power. The smart crowd knows that the decade between 45 and 55 is the most critical sprint of their lives. They maximize every contribution right now. And the moment they blow out the candles on their 50th birthday, they don't waste a single second. They immediately activate their catch-up contributions. The government allows anyone 50 and older to funnel extra money into their 401(n)s and IRAs above the normal limits, and the wealthy take full advantage of it. Let me ask you, if you are approaching 50, or maybe you just crossed that milestone, have you already made a plan to automate those catch-up contributions? Type the words "I'm ready" in the comments if you already have this strategy locked and loaded. 6. Redefining rich from a pile of cash to cash flow. The final and perhaps most profound difference lies entirely in mindset. An average 45-year-old defines retirement wealth by a lifeless number. They say, "I want to have $1 million," or "I need $2 million," but they have no actual concept of what that number translates to in daily living. Conversely, those building true, lasting wealth understand that in retirement, a high net worth doesn't pay the light bill, cash flow does. At 45, they stop obsessing over their total account balance and start calculating how much monthly income their portfolio can actually generate. They begin heavily focusing on building passive income streams, dividend-paying stocks, rental real estate, or optimizing their future Social Security claiming strategy. Their goal is highly specific. They ask, "How do I engineer my assets to produce $8,000 every single month without having to panic sell my stocks if the market crashes?" It is this exact shift from a pile of cash mentality to a river of income mentality that provides absolute peace of mind. So wrapping this all up, turning 45 is not a reason to panic, but it is absolutely a wake-up call. The difference between struggling through your golden years and enjoying a rich, abundant retirement doesn't come down to who had the most luck. It comes down to intentional action. Freezing your lifestyle creep, putting your financial oxygen mask on before your kids' college funds, diversifying your tax buckets, weaponizing your HSA, harnessing the final cycles of compound interest, and focusing relentlessly on cash flow. That is the secret map the wealthy are using. I really want to hear from you. Out of all the differences we discussed today, from the lifestyle creep trap to the oxygen mask rule to weaponizing your HSA, what is the one biggest lesson you want to apply to your own financial plans starting today? Write it down in the comments below, because sometimes publicly stating a goal is the very first step to making it a reality. And if you found today's conversation valuable and it gave you a fresh perspective on the road ahead, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more vital financial topics to cover together to help make sure your retirement years are the most vibrant years of your life. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.